How to find, successfully approach and attract investors. Finding an investor can be a difficult process, but there are certain steps that can help you successfully approach and attract an investor. This lesson is a summary of the previous modules. In it we briefly discuss how to prepare a solid business plan, select the right investor, take advantage of networking, prepare a professional presentation, prepare for negotiations, take care of the image of your business, arm yourself with patience. How to prepare a solid business plan? Preparing a solid business plan is a key step in the process of attracting an investor. The business plan should include detailed information about the product or service, market, competition, marketing strategy, organizational structure, and financial projections. It is important that the business plan is sound and realistic, while convincing the investor of the potential and profitability of the venture. It is worth remembering that a business plan is not only a tool for raising capital, but also a roadmap for the company to control progress and set goals. How to choose the right investor. Choosing the right investor can have a huge impact on the future of your business. It is worth remembering that an investor is not only a provider of capital, but also a business partner who brings his knowledge, experience, and contacts. Before deciding on a particular investor, it is worth conducting a thorough analysis and comparison of potential candidates. Important factors to consider include, first and foremost, the investor's experience in the industry of your business, management approach, and working style. Expectations for participation in management and control of the business, level of commitment and knowledge of your business. And resources the investor may bring in the form of networking, know-how, or financial support. How to take advantage of networking. Leveraging your network of contacts can be a very effective way to attract investors. In order to effectively leverage your network, it is worthwhile to make sure you build and maintain relationships with people in the industry in which your business operates. It's also a good idea to attend industry events, conferences, trade shows, or networking meetings, which allow you to make new contacts and present your business. It is important to use networking in a professional and thoughtful manner. It is worth considering who specifically you want to attract as an investor and what their expectations and preferences are. A well-prepared presentation of the business and effective arguments for the value of the venture can convince a potential investor to get involved in the project. How to prepare a professional presentation. Preparing a professional business presentation is a key element in the process of attracting an investor. It is worth remembering that the presentation should be both convincing and clear, as well as arouse the interest of the potential investor. When preparing your presentation, you should focus on presenting basic information about your business, such as a description of your products or services, business objective, market potential, sales strategy, competition, financial projections, and management team. It is important for the presentation to include graphics, tables, charts, and specific examples to facilitate understanding of the data presented. A well-structured presentation should also make strong points about the advantages and benefits of investing in your business, such as high growth potential, unique technology, or market leadership. It is also essential to take care of the proper form of the presentation. It should be clear, aesthetically pleasing, and tailored to the preferences of the potential investor. It is worth paying attention to the method of presentation, for example narration in the form of slides or a video, and duration, which should be adapted to the expectations of the recipient. How to prepare for negotiations. Preparing for negotiations is key to success in the process of attracting an investor. It is important to get to know the business thoroughly and understand your goals and negotiation boundaries before the negotiations. It is advisable to prepare for various scenarios, such as difficult questions or unexpected proposals from the investor. It is also essential to develop a negotiation strategy and think through potential offers and counteroffers. It is important to remember that negotiations should be conducted in a professional and cultured manner, and that effective communication and listening skills will allow you to reach an agreement and build a long-term relationship with the investor. How to take care of the image of your business. The image of a business can be built in a variety of ways, such as through online marketing, public relations activities, activity on social media, participation in industry events or media interviews. It's also important to ensure transparency in your company's operations, such as by regularly reporting financial results or sharing information about your business processes. A good business image attracts investors and increases the chances of success in raising capital. A negative image or reputation, on the other hand, can scare off potential investors and make it difficult to raise funds for the company's development. Therefore, it is worth paying attention to building a positive business image early on in the company's development. How to arm yourself with patience. The process of attracting an investor is often long and complicated, and it takes time and commitment to obtain financing. Expect that negotiations with investors can take weeks or even months, and sometimes you have to meet with many potential investors before you can find the right partner. Patience is key, especially for startups and companies operating in innovative industries, where obtaining financing is particularly difficult. However, it is worth remembering that patience and persistence in pursuit of a goal can bring long-term benefits in the form of company growth and increased market value. Therefore, in order to obtain investment support, it is worth maintaining optimism, persistence and patience, while focusing on measures to increase the chances of attracting an investor.